Hi, Assalamualaikum and greetings to everyone. Welcome to my presentation regarding QSR Brands Holding BHD. Before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Alia Akila binti Muhammad. My student ID is 2018660628. I'm from class BA2505B. For this presentation, I would like to present to my lecturer, Dr. Azmahani Yaakob Elias Othman. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about the introduction regarding what is halal, background of study, the role of QSR brand company, issue raised, gaining and maintaining Muslim trust, opportunity regarding increased customer loyalty, recommendations that can be done, which is cloud kitchen, and lastly, conclusion, hope and future expectation for halal issue and QSR brands. Now, let's move to our first part, which is introduction regarding what is halal. Muslims are required to follow the requirement of Islam law that teaches to consume only halal food and avoid the haram ones. Apart from food, Muslims also abide by the rules of conducting the halal concept in their daily lives. The word halal is originated from an Arabic word which means lawful and permissible according to Islamic Sharia law, which refers to the teaching of Al Quran and exemplary conduct of Prophet Muhammad as quoted in the Hadith. The opposite of halal is haram, which means forbidden. The term halal is particularly associated with Islamic dietary laws and especially meat processed and prepared for those requirements. Halal certification started in the West in the mid of 1960s in the United States of America by Muslim food and technical experts. It did not just start in the Muslim countries, but it came as a necessity for Muslims living in non-Muslim society such as United States, Europe, and in some part of Asia and the Pacific. This practical safety measure for Muslims living in the non-Muslim societies to preserve their Muslim identity and fulfill their religious obligation became a useful tool to guarantee that the products produced in non-Muslim countries are acceptable to the Muslim. Some examples of the World Halal Certifying Organization included the World Halal Council (WHC). It was established in Jakarta in 1999 to standardize the halal certification and accreditation process among its members organizations, representing the different countries and nationalities worldwide. Halal issues gave rise to the halal industry. The global halal industry has estimated to be worth around 2.3 trillion US dollar, not including Islamic finance. The industry is valued at around 560 billion US dollar per year, rising at an expected annual rate of 20%. Hence, making it one of the world's fastest growing market segments. The 1.8 billion Muslims global halal market is no longer limited to food and food related goods. In addition to the food industry, the halal industry has also extended to cosmetics, health products, toiletries, and medical equipment, as well as components of the services industry, such as logistics, marketing, packaging, branding, and financing. With the increase in the number of wealthy Muslims in recent years, the halal industry has further grown into lifestyle offerings, including halal travel and hospitality services, as well as fashion industry. In Malaysia, The halal status of goods and services are monitored and verified by authorities such as JAKIM, JAIN, or MAIN. JAKIM is the core controlling body that administers Malaysia's halal certification for food products, and it creates policies which are decided by the cabinet. They refer to Islamic law according to Shafi school of thought or the Maliki, Hanbali or Hanafi schools of thought as decreed by the King of Malaysia and enforced in Wilayah Persekutuan or decreed by the royal head of state of any state and enforced in that respective state. Jakim issues the halal certificate logo and approves products which strictly fulfill the halal requirements under the Sharia law. The involvement of Jakim to confirm the status of halal on consumer food products and goods in the country began in the year 1974 when the Research Center of Islamic Affairs Divisions of Prime Minister's Office started to issue halal certification letters for products. The second part is the background of study regarding what is the role of QSR brands. The public is well known with brands like KFC, Pizza Hut, Ayamas, and Life. However, they might have the perception that these brands are standing solidly alone in the market and not related to each other. Surprisingly, QSR Brands Holding BHD is the company that manages these brands. Previously known as KFC Holdings, the very first KFC restaurant opened in Malaysia was located at Jalan Tuku Abdul Rahman that was founded in 1973. This marks the journey of QSR Brands as Malaysia's largest restaurant chain operator. QSR Brands operates internationally among ASEAN countries such as Singapore, Brunei, and Cambodia. As the only company authorized by Yum Brands to establish and operate KFC and Pizza Hut in these countries. KFC has over 850 branches in Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, and Brunei, while Pizza Hut has over 475 branches across Malaysia and Singapore. QSR Brands as an international company do not only involve in the fast food restaurant but also involve in breeder and broiler farming, hatchery and poultry processing through ayamas as well as a host of ancillary businesses such as baking, commissary and sauce production through their subsidiary, the region food industry that produce live sauces. As a company operating and providing food products in Malaysia, the company needs to ensure that their foods are halal compliant according to the law legislated by the Malaysian government. QSR Brand has established the QSR Brands Advisory Council specialized in monitoring the whole food manufacturing processes to ensure that halal compliance with JAKIM's halal certification requirements along with the JAKIM's halal logo which will be displayed on all of our product packaging certifying that it is has passed the test of the halal compliance. Not only that, QSR Brands has been applying both internal and external measures to ensure that their product fulfill the halal requirements by the JAKIM. For the internal measurement, the company responsible department will ensure that their products are free from any cross contaminations, which also includes the hazardous contamination, and ensure that they conform to halal requirements in every aspect. Now, let's talk about the halal issue raised from QSR brands. The issue or the problem faced by the company is to gain and maintain Malaysian Muslims' trust. Trust between the customer and a brand is the most vital part. An established brand will be able to make a genuine, truthful connection with the consumers. In this case, QSR brands found that it was a challenge to maintain Muslims' trust over their product. An unfulfilled promise by the business owner to the customers can be a threat to the organization. This is because a customer would always believe that what they had been listening to. Failure to deliver these promises will cause the customers to lose their trust immediately. The customers will feel cheated as promises were left unfulfilled. The promises include all the services and products provided by the business. Therefore, in gaining customers' trust, QSR brands shall not cover up its mistake. A cover up for a crime is the worst thing ever. Customers understand on the positive side that mistake can happen and will not stop trusting you for a slip up. However, covering up an error was a deal breaker, only to have it revealed later when the problems got enormous. The Muslims' perception toward non local products or companies or unpopular companies is usually in negative, where they would question the halal status of the product. The customers will assume that the product is not Muslim friendly as they do not know whether the ingredients used are halal or not, and was the process of making the product following the standardization or not. This perception shall be cleared by QSR brands. To make it clear, QSR brands shall enhance their marketing strategies in pointing out their products and halal stuff. They could ask for their halal executives to explain how they maintain their halal status during the production process. QSR brands can also advertise its post production product management, source of the ingredients used, and also all the suppliers to point out QSR brands verified halal status in addition to the halal certificate. Moving on to the next slide, opportunity of the QSR brands. Increase in customer loyalty. Having a halal certificate could give a better opportunity for the company. Halal certificates indicated that the product was being produced came with a high quality standardization. A better quality offered may give an enhancement in customer loyalty. Customer loyalty is a consumer willingness and desire to purchase the demanded product, or they were voluntarily to use a service from a company that they have had a magnificent experience with. Customer loyalty is important for the QSR brands in boosting the profit for the sub brand such as KFC, Pizza Hut, and Ayamas. Hence, they will shop regularly. The company needs to acknowledge more customers about their halal products. A high customer loyalty indicated that the customers were enjoying a high satisfaction for the business establishment. As a return, the customers themselves would derive the company by the product's proponent or promoter. The word of mouth to mouth marketing would always be the greatest marketing strategy. The customers will talk about the virtue of the products. QSR brands could implement the opportunities given by creating new products on the special occasion. For example, KFC would launch new menus on certain events in a limited period. KFC had once launched the Cheesy menu during Merdeka month. It came with durian balls as a side dish. A durian lover would love this menu so much. Then they also launched a Korean style soy garlic glazed drumette menu. Instead of using the real recipe from Korea, KFC had altered the recipe to make sure that the food is consumable for Muslim customers. The white rice vinegar, normally present in any kind of Korean dish, was substituted with apple cider or date vinegar. On the other hand, Life Brand has been producing Thai chili sauce for a long time since There was a demand from the customers, and it was served at the KFC and Pizza Hut restaurants all over Malaysia. It was a good alternative as they innovated the more variety of sauce as Muslims in Malaysia love Thai cuisine too. A hit of Thai chili sauce could make the chicken or pizza tastier. For QSR brands, to produce their own Thai sauce was meant to be an adequate action as Muslims acknowledged that the sauce was safe for them to use in their cooking or eat it with any kind of dishes. Lastly, QSR brands can reward loyal customers with a loyalty program. For the most loyal and potential customer, a rewarding method provides an effective way to make sure them to keep coming back to our restaurants. A rating system used by the straightforward and probably most popular loyalty programs, which means that customers earn loyalty points every time they buy from the brand. On the other hand, the KFC and Pizza Hut can make the loyalty visible on the site as it can be accessible by the customers. To keep the customers engaged with the website, the digital department can enhance the website by giving discounts or coupons on certain occasions such as their birthdays, anniversary date for them since they started engaging with the websites and updating monthly newsletter or upcoming new menus to be served. Now, let's move to the second last part, which is recommendation that can be done by the QSR brands. The cloud kitchen concept. QSR brands is encouraged to apply the cloud kitchen method. Cloud kitchen, also called ghost kitchen, shared kitchen, or virtual kitchen, making the restaurant into moving to a delivery only model could be possible now as the existence of the advanced technologies. The ultra-modern technologies can help QSR brands to make it happen. It is said that it could change customers' habit. A cloud kitchen method can be beneficial for both parties, the consumer and the company, which is QSR brands. Cloud kitchen method benefited the company as it was able to cut some cost of fortune for the company. QSR brands will no longer be required to operate a restaurant because all of the food will be delivered as no dine-in will be allowed. In consequences, QSR brands could speed up the ordering process and that would be boosting the satisfaction of the customers. The company can free up time and enhance the job and production performances by automating. The QSR brands could be the first trendsetter in the running the cloud kitchens in Malaysia. Instead of investing in the design, furniture, and additional costs for KFC and Pizza Hut to operate their restaurants, they can invest more on technology wise as it reduces cost and visibility. Secondly, Pizza Hut and KFC restaurants could gain a competitive advantage as e-menu helped the restaurants to technologize the restaurant and make it more futuristic compared to other fast food restaurants. For Muslim and non-Muslim customers, they would be much happier as it would be convenient for them with the existence of the cloud kitchen concept. When a restaurant gives a positive experience for them, the customers would be doubtlessly share their great experience with their family and friends, be it through mouth to mouth or social media experience such as Google review, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and blog site. This effort would improve the restaurant's rating. Confidently, the company will make a killing profit and has a better market growth compared to other fast food restaurants. Moreover, the cloud kitchen concept seemed to be the best idea for the current situation of pandemic COVID-19. Most restaurants need to minimize the number of customers allowed to dine in within a certain time. This situation has made the restaurants needed to create other alternatives to make sure that the customers could still buy the food despite of this pandemic. It is much easier for the restaurant to adapt to this cloud kitchen concept. Hence, they could actively promote this service during fasting month where occasionally people would be spending their money more on buying outside food rather than cooking the food themselves. Although the cash on delivery services are now common on everyone, but QSR brands had not applied it yet, even to other fast food restaurants too. So they could do so as the first fast food restaurant to adopt the cloud kitchen concept. Now we have come to the last part of this presentation, which is conclusion. There are hope and future expectation for QSR brands. To sum up, the halal issue in the Malaysia is important to look into for any business owner to operate their business in this country, especially when it is related to the food and beverages business. Current and future business owners who want to get into the halal industry will need to maintain and gain the trust of the Muslim community. Nevertheless, there are some opportunities and potential provided by the halal industry which can increase revenue, customer loyalty, and the marketability of the brand. There are also other ways for business to further thrive in the halal industry, including diversification of the products, adoption of the cloud kitchen method, and starting joint venture or partnerships with other companies. Thus, few advocacies that can be done, like creating unrelated diversification of products to widen the variety of the product, implying the latest idea of advanced restaurants from other countries, and starting to do joint ventures or partnerships with other companies. Building a network with other companies can strengthen the relationship with them as QSR brands can exchange their knowledge, changing their technology acknowledgement with other companies. Lastly, QSR brands can rejuvenate the company's strategic planning to adapt with the current situation. And now we have come to the end of this presentation. I hope you guys enjoy this video presentation from me, and you guys can also take note on any related ideas that I have explained in this video presentation. That is all from me. Thank you.